Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Got a Black Crow's Camox Birdie for you today. This is a revamped Camox Birdie, so there have been some changes from the 2025 season. Construction, shape, profile, as well as graphics. So we are dealing with a new Camox Birdie here, and for those that kind of wanted a little bit more aggression, a little bit more power, I think that those questions have been answered here with the new Camox Birdie. It retains a lot of the energy and pop and overall versatility as the older one, but adds in, I would say, more high-speed stability, especially at a longer turn shape. And that's one of the things that we really keyed in on these new Camox series of skis. And Black Crow's does a great job at kind of making things a little bit different and a little bit unique, and I think their changes here have taken this Camox Birdie into that next realm, which is, in my book, a very good thing. They don't do a ton of very sophisticated stuff with their constructions. They did up kind of the tech here with 2026. They do use mostly a poplar wood core. There is an ash insert underfoot. We normally see ash wood used in more race-oriented skis. It's a denser, heavier wood than poplar, so they are adding some power to the mix through that use of ash. But other than that, we get fiberglass laminates, and that's about it. What they do is kind of play around with the thickness of the wood core, making this thing a little bit stiffer and more powerful than that relatively simplistic build may indicate. And these things end up being pretty sturdy feeling on your feet for, you know, a 97 millimeter underfoot twin tip for all intents and purposes. You know, that's what it is, but it doesn't really ski like one. You know, they do make it relatively stiff. It's a nice, consistent, and energetic flex throughout. And then on the scale, you know, there is a little bit of heft to it. This is the 169, and we're on the scale at 1,785 grams. So for a ski without metal in a 169 to be about 1,800 grams means that it's on the slightly heavier side of the spectrum. They also use, you know, they've used kind of this step-down sidewall in the past. You know, they keep the thickness of the sidewall pretty consistent throughout the ski, but in the middle where it's higher overall, there is more of a cap construction there. And it does have a little bit of a trapezoidal feel. We see this in the wider Atris Birdie skis as well. And that just kind of takes a little material off of the edges and allows for just a slightly lighter swing weight. So putting more of the power in the center portion of the ski. Really cool how they do kind of a lot with a little in terms of that construction and build. But yeah, I mean, this is a twin tip. You know, it has been that way in the past and continues to be that way moving forward. It's not the most dramatic of twins out there. So while there is a freestyle and free ride component, there's also still a very strong all mountain one. So some camber underfoot. I think that the previous Camox had even more, but this is a little bit flatter to the ground, smoother overall. Not as dramatically tapered. The older Camox used to bump out a little bit lower, so this is smoother and a little bit more consistent throughout. And then, you know, enough camber, or enough rocker, excuse me, to help with flotation and softer snow. We found this to be really fun in the trees, pretty mobile. And then a little bit more rocker than we saw in previous. Not quite as much splay, but a longer rocker profile, so adding to that free ride capacity. 18 meter turn radius in this one, and yeah, you can get all of it and then some. I do think that there is a longer turn component to this ski than that 18 meter mark lets on. We found that when you get these things up on edge, you can really let it run and sit into the carve and feel kind of an uncommon amount of power and stability for an all wood core ski, which is really fun. So I don't think there's many better options out there for a mid-90s twin tip that feels as stable in an on-trail format. I think you'd have to get to something like a Nordica Unleashed 98, something with metal in it, to get that kind of twin tip carving power. But we found these to be incredibly rewarding and just a whole lot of fun in a longer, higher speed, drawn out carve turn, as well as being mobile and engaging in trees. It was great here in Vermont on some snowy days. Fun in the bumps and just really well-rounded ski for overall all mountain skiing, as well as adding a freestyle component in there with the twin tip. So no complaints about the Camox Birdie from us here at SkiEssentials.com. This is one of those skis that checks a lot of boxes for a lot of skiers. I think that advanced and expert skiers will get the most out of it. I don't think it's unreasonable for an intermediate looking for a wider twin to find success here, but it is on the slightly heftier side and it is pretty damp. So if you're looking for a little bit lighter energy, lighter pep, there are better options, but for smooth power and accessible versatility, this is a great ski. So make sure you check this thing out here at SkiEssentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.